You know, there's that moment where you say, when do you want your next television, right? It just keeps improving. So tell us what you're showing here at CE Week.
So here at CE Week, we're showing our Quantum Dot SUHD TVs. These are 4K high dynamic range TVs that are powered by Quantum Dot. And by using Quantum Dot, we get full color resolution and full brightness up to 1,000 nits. So it really creates this lifelike picture you see behind you, where it's got the brightness levels that you would see outside on a sunny day. So
I can feel the water. I feel like, oh my gosh, it's going to be kind of chilly.
Yeah, it's just like looking out a window, and the Quantum Dots are what really powers that to give us not just the color, but the color saturation and the brightness to really give it a lifelike, realistic image. So we're showing a few things here with it. One, we're showing how to calibrate in high dynamic range, which is a new type of content for the industry.
What's involved in calibrating that content?
Well, what's involved in calibrating a television is getting it set so that it looks exactly as the director intended it when it was mastered at the studio. For high dynamic range, this is all a new technology where we're talking about much brighter pictures and actually deeper black. So new equipment and new test patterns had to be created, and Samsung is working very hard to get those out so people can actually test the color accuracies on our TV.
Right.
So
what does that mean to the consumer when they bring it home?
Well, for the consumer, if they're looking to get the most accurate picture, then now with Samsung Quantum Dot televisions, you'll be able to do that. And if you want to pay extra to have a calibrator come in and calibrate your TV, that end of the business now will have the tools to come in and do it properly. High dynamic range has only been around for 2 years, so the calibration side of actually setting TV's colors to be super accurate hadn't been there. But we're working very hard to get that out, and that's what we're presenting here at CE Week. What we're showing here in our room, the TV to the left of me here is a calibrated TV for the standard HD color that we've had for years and years, and the TV directly behind me here is actually set for high dynamic range, and I think we can right here, you can see the difference. High dynamic range is creating a much more lifelike and realistic picture. But for Samsung, you know, performance is a big deal, and it's not just the picture. So what Samsung is showing today is also our full ecosystem. Everyone's all amped up and excited about high dynamic range, and high dynamic range is a standard on the new 4K Blu-ray disc format. Samsung first to market with a 4K Blu-ray. We have that here showing 4K Blu-ray with high dynamic range content. The ecosystem continues on to our 4K HDR TV, and for the sound portion, most people are familiar with 5.1. However, Samsung has brought the Dolby Atmos soundbar, which is a 5.1.4 system. Now, everyone's familiar with 5.1. It's 5 speakers, 2 in the rear and 3 in the front. However, 0.4 is giving us speakers from and sound from above. The way Samsung is doing it is by putting woofers actually in the soundbar that are aimed up at the ceiling, and it bounces back down. So when you're watching a movie, if there's a plane flying overhead, it will actually sound like it's coming from overhead.
Can you hear the sound now?
We absolutely can. I just have to set the demo, which I can't do while standing here with you.
We get the TV home, right? How hard is the setup?
That's a great question. Samsung, when it comes to smart TV, it's not just about streaming your favorite content. It's about helping you set it up and helping you use your TV. And for Samsung, setup is the crucial part. And whenever, for Samsung, we have auto input recognition. So any of your HDMI sources that you plug into the TV will automatically be recognized and relabeled. So what you're seeing here is the Blu-ray logo instead of HDMI 1. This TV recognized we plugged a Blu-ray in. It changed the logo so customer can easily find it, easier than HDMI 1, 2, or 3. And we'll also program the Samsung Smart Remote to control that device. So whether it's your set-top box from your cable provider or your Blu-ray player, one remote will control it, and there's really no extra work for our customers. All they need to do is plug in their HDMI cable, get the TV onto the internet, and we'll take care of the rest.
Okay, so tell me about where we are with content now. What's out there?
So with content, there's 2 types of content available. There's the 4K content, and 4K is readily available from streaming partners like Netflix and Amazon. We also have Fandango now from the streaming side. DirecTV has been broadcasting some Major League Baseball in 4K, as well as the Olympics this year are going to be broadcast in 4K. So 4K is speaking to that resolution, and there's plenty of content out there. Many people are actually seeking the high dynamic range content, which is the stuff with the added color and contrast. And for that, you'll find it on Netflix, you'll find it on Fandango, and it's a standard on 4K Blu-ray, and you can buy a 4K Blu-ray disc from many different places.
Okay, so you got me sold. How much is this going to set me back?
So the price on the Blu-ray player is $399. The price on the TV, we're showing a 65-inch. This is our 9800. Our flagship piece is selling for $44.95 in a 65. Obviously, a little bit more for the bigger size, a little bit less for smaller. However, Samsung does have multiple lines of high dynamic range TVs, so you can get them at varying prices. The soundbar that we're showing, which includes the soundbar, the subwoofer, and the rear channels, is $14.99, and that's a 5.1.4 system. So that's more channels than most customers are used to with either just a traditional soundbar or a traditional 5.1 system. The height channels really make it sound like the sound is raining on you and put you really in the middle of the action.
Can't wait to hear that sound.
Can't wait to give it to you.